Hey everyone, and welcome to the live stream for this evening. I can see that we do have the people in the chat. So we got Darren, we got Wen. Always nice to see you guys. But Sadako is also here. So hello to you, my friend. It's good to see you again. I'm not sure what our dear Mr. AWK is up to, but he's been hiding himself from the background. So he's probably preparing something. I'm not sure if it's going to be a mysterious plush puppy or whatever he's up to. But
the phrase is be afraid, be very afraid.
Yeah, indeed it is. So, how are you doing this evening, Colin?
I'm okay. I've been playing. I've been replaying Fallout New Vegas.
Oh, that's such an amazing game. I mean, how in the hell is this holding up even on modern computers today? I mean,
not on mine. It's not on mine. It's not on modern computer, but.
No, but I mean, I got a decent computer. I know that AWK got a decent computer, but I literally fire it up and off it goes. It doesn't have anything. Oh, you don't have the rights, or you got too modern computer equipment and whatnot. It just goes, and I do love the story and the open world and everything about it.
Yeah,
So
I last played a couple of years ago, and I've got a load of I've got the ones with all four of the DLCs, at least one of which I don't think I've ever actually played, and I've got loads and loads of mods.
yeah.
Unfortunately, one or two of the mods seem to clash. So there's one bit where I can go into a shack. If I go back into the shack, because that's a mod and that's the same place as a bit of wreckage, I actually come out into the wreckage. So things like that, and it I don't know if it's a computer or those crash, but it keeps crashing on me here and there. But I've got mods I've not actually played through before. So I've got one mod where I've got to go all over the place. I've just got I've now actually got stealth power armor.
Yeah, you're talking my language. I don't know why, but in the Fallout series, I've always gone for the agility, kind of stealth, sneaky, being able to hack and lockpick stuff.
Me too. I mean, I do those ones and ranged weapons. So I've got the sniper rifles, the perks and all the rest of it. Oddly enough, what I discovered is I've got several of the mods I've got actually take you almost straight to the Chinese stealth armor as well. So
all right, yeah.
There's one of them.
Sorry, Colin, to interrupt you a bit here, but also hail to Miranda, and she's been playing Hogwarts, and I'm hoping that she means Hogwarts Legacy. I really like that game. I just haven't had time to finish it, but
I touched it.
I really like the Harry Potter universe that they built in that one. Everything from one dueling to exploring areas and being open and all that stuff.
And you're not afraid by the problematic nature. Oh, sorry. No.
What kind of problematic
exactly.
nature? The fact that the ladies that created the stuff is speaking the truth. I don't care about that. Oh, there we go. Look at those. Welcome to the show, Mr. Freeze.
I know. I should have never switched off that heat. more rooms like the Antarctic. Hello, everyone.
It's even
Well,
got
Antarctic is the
sound.
best place to have your Fortress of Solitude, isn't it?
The Antarctic is the biggest desert in the world.
Tell me about it. Cold, I'm better, I'm cold. God, why did I switch that heating off? Yes, I'm live from the Antarctic tonight.
Not for long.
Yes, it is Mr. Freeze. Bloody hell. How's everyone? No?
A lot warmer than you appear to be.
Look at me. Oh, God. All right, let's get on with the show, shall we? Don't mind me. I've got these on Amazon. Oh, bloody hell. Yes, if you can hear background noise, yes, that is live from the Antarctic. But, right. Yeah.
Didn't sound like any real snowdrifts that I've heard of in my life in the north.
Yeah. Well, yeah, 11.99. These I am going to cosplay Mr. Freeze one day. That's the thing. Problem is, I've got to get a bleeding bowl from my head. Oh, they can go up there. Right.
I just
so,
wish I had anything to show, but the only thing I probably haven't shown live on the stream is my stormtrooper helmets.
I had one of those. I had the full costume once.
Yeah, so I have one of the X-wing fighters, and I got crap, I forget. It's from the animated series. It's like Captain Roger or something like that. He's got blue stripes on the top of his stormtrooper helmet, so he's supposed to be distinct from all the other ones. But I got it from a charity shop, so I got it for like £9. But the whole voice modulator thing is completely broken. The wires were like stripped out. I do suspect someone was just stripping out the wires to just sell it for the copper. And I'm just going, it's probably 2 grams worth of copper in that in total. But
Wow.
yeah, I bought an Arduino set, so hopefully I can reprogram it and solder it back in and get that stuff sorted. Because I really would want like a stormtrooper helmet. It's like, halt, fire.
I dressed up as a stormtrooper once. Never
This is
again.
not the helmet you're looking for.
No.
Well, as someone that has actually put my head inside the stormtrooper helmet, I can tell you, you will not find the droids that you are looking for.
Oh, tell me about it. Tell me about it. Oh, God, mate, it is fun, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Oh, here we go. We got Cam in the chat
Hey,
as well.
Cam.
It's been a long time. So, I might actually kick this one off, seeing that this is kind of a free-for-all. And I can't believe I'm going to say this, but Disney Plus is back on my subscription. Because of Shogun. If you guys recall, and I know we are old enough to be remembering, what was he called? Richard Chamberlain or something like that, that did.
Yes, I remember Dr. Kildare in Japan.
Yeah. But we did have a Shogun
you had
series
to learn to
from the
speak Japanese
70s.
to watch it.
Yeah. But we had a Shogun series in the 70s, didn't we?
I think
and
70s,
this
maybe
one literally just, wow, it stepped out. And I kid you not, it's been a long time. Not even Jack Reacher, the first season, not the second one. Holy crap, that was hands. But the first season was, oh, wow, this is really good. But Disney Plus Shogun, wow. I'm really looking forward to see the third episode of it. I will say, though, I think, but I'm just playing from memory when I was like a kid, and we're talking decades ago. When I was a kid, the original Shogun was a lot more brutal, especially when the main character was a captive. He was put in the prisoner trap, and they literally was just pouring cut off fish heads and waste and refuse down on the prisoners in the prisoner pit. This one might be lighter on that, but the brutality, the quickness of kendo, and the there is another name, and I don't hope there is no Japanese person watching this because I'm probably butchering the names either way. But it is very brutal in the way it does stuff and display the output, if you put it that way, not the training. I haven't seen any stand outside, do the training, the big montage, the Forbidden Palace, where you have like 5,000 was it Bushido monks or whatever they are, doing all the katas and whatever the movements are. I haven't seen that, but it's been heavy on the intrigue. Very, very solid on the dialogue, the talking. There is no nonsense. This is 16th century, literally the year 1600 after Christ in Japan. This is how shit was done. I know that the usage of the word shit is not articulate enough, but it's literally, there is no nonsense. This is where we are. There is no, oh, let me pull out my iPad and Google something for you. And I know, Alex, you are one that is keen visiting Japan.
Yes.
You're probably going to love this one because they have also a lot of the tea ceremonies.
Yeah, been very interesting, those.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to like take over everything and talking about Shogun.
No, it's fine, it's fine, it's
I'm just gonna say, I watched the first 2 episodes. I love it, and this is what I want from entertainment. Will the third one do anything? I don't know. I mean, it's Disney Plus, but it's very surprising for being Disney Plus, knowing what we know.
Oh yeah.
So I'll leave it to you guys. What you been up to in the last week or so?
You go first, Colin.
Not a lot.
There we go.
So I've been playing Fallout New Vegas a bit.
And how far you got along?
Oh, I've got so many mods, extra bits and pieces to it. I'm probably getting close to actually maxing out my skills and the rest of it, or at least my level. And I'm still in pretty much the first of the main story. I've barely started the main story.
Well,
that's because I'm doing it again with. I played it I played it before, and I got so many times. I've actually now got with the load of extras and the rest of it that I'm now catching up and just having to go with the new with some of the new bits I've not played before.
I think I might need a new chair. Because look at the background. Oh, it's on the arm, I know. Well,
So it's probably
over the
colour
weekend.
coming in, isn't it?
Well, over the weekend I went cycling, really. Anyone going to ask to where?
On the
Well,
roads?
I believe you actually have footage that you could probably share. And
I wish I could, Jim. I wish I could.
well, you can. It might
But
be.
I do have images. Just give me a second to bring up my photo collection. Well, yeah, I went to Richmond for a nice cycle ride, and all I can say, it was bloody lovely. Best type of ride that I ever had. And you know something? It's strange that I end up coming across this cycle hire shop in Richmond, right? I'll bring it up in a minute. Hold on.
Here we go. We got PJ lurking in the chat.
Yay, PJ! Keep those images on my phone. Yeah, so I went to Richmond. You know, I had a nice time. But while I was there, I came across this place, and everyone probably get the joke. So if I just bring it up, how often do you see a shop like that?
Yeah, nice.
I wonder if Mel Brooks will be suing.
How many people these days actually get the joke?
Good point. Good point. But no, and I had to walk back through the South Bank afterwards, and frankly, I didn't get home till what? 4:10 in the morning? So, had a lovely time. Good. Also, now you've probably never seen this film, have you, Colin? But Jim probably knows about it. Last week I watched a classic called The Departed.
I've heard of it.
Well, you were already on the classic, and now you're jumping ahead. But the first classic you were showing is probably one of the greatest films ever made that cannot ever be remade.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
But I
when it can be remade, you know we're back to sanity.
To see people trying to remake in the modern day with the current state.
Yes.
To Blazing Saddles.
Not going to happen.
It's not going to happen, but I would pay money to see whatever they try to come up with. I don't care if it would fund something I wouldn't be agreeing with. I would just go there to try and watch it.
I wouldn't give a modern version the time of day.
I'm in the middle of nowhere. I'm hearing fire noises.
Oh. Wow, nice, Cam. Cancun and Chichen Itza. Nice. Is that Mexican fried chicken?
Sounds delicious. Okay, so shall we mention about The Departed?
Well, I would do, but it's gone by now, hasn't it?
Nah, I know that, Colin. But I'm gonna.
It's a cowboy. Isn't it a relatively newish cowboy movie, The Departed, or am I thinking of something completely different?
You're thinking of something completely different.
Oh, okay.
No, The Departed had all-star cast: Leonardo DiCaprio, Mark Wahlberg, Martin Sheen, Matt Damon, Ray Winston, and don't forget Jack Nicholson.
And what was it about?
Well, I was going to talk with Jim a little bit. Jim, are you still there?
No, I'm just popping out for a fag.
Well, no. Okay, The Departed. What it's about? It's about like set in Boston. It's about this police officer, right?
Oh,
But he's an informant for the mob, right? He got into the police, and he's still informing for the mob. And then on another side, you got this other police officer, which played by Leonardo DiCaprio. He ends up, becoming he goes undercover for the police and ends up getting into the mob, right?
okay.
And frankly, there's like, you know who the informer is and all that, but the police and the mob don't. So it's a back and forth type of story in it, and it is very cleverly done, But the question is about Jack Nicholson in it: was he a villain or was he an anti-hero?
I don't know.
Because he played the character very well. So it's one of those films. It's one of those films you got to really watch, Colin, to understand it.
You tend to have to watch a lot of films to actually understand them, but I know what you mean.
Yeah. And it's like no other, really. I was going to hopefully talk to Jim a little bit about it, because Jim is good at explaining this type of thing. They're talking about
What are
history
you
of
telling me that I was supposed to explain?
the film The Departed.
Departed is... Oh, crap. What is that one?
The film with Jack Nicholson.
Film type. Go ahead.
It's a film with Jack Nicholson in it.
That isn't telling me much, because I always think of the one where he has that really creepy smile. That isn't him playing the Joker in Batman.
No. Give it a watch, Miranda. It will really get you like hooked and interested.
Is the part of the one where they have the mafia gangs and all that,
Yeah.
and the balance between cops and
Yeah.
Oh, it's been a while since I've seen that one. And I do apologize to the chat if I missed any of your comments to me. I've been trying to keep up as best as I can.
But they're talking about history of the world at the moment. in the chat.
They remade. Didn't he finally make part 2? And it turned out
Yeah, he finally made part 2, but it wasn't the part 2 we were expecting.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's well, frankly, I haven't watched this really well, part 2, but I think part 2 should have just remained a joke, really.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Because how often you're going to get the trailer and the song to Jews in Space?
Very often, I would have thought.
Oh, dear. So, what's this theory doing? They're going to be finally animating the Daleks' master plan.
No idea.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, because the rabbi was talking about it earlier. You must have watched it, Colin.
No, I didn't watch. It was premiere, was it? So I might watch it later on, because that's one I noticed on his thumbnail. They got about Sarah Kingdom. I know she did a couple of big finishes.
Mm-hmm.
Between when she first appears and when she gets killed off. So he's spoilers for a 70-year-old or a 55-year-old show.
Yeah.
No, I didn't say that yet.
Yeah. All right. Well, just want to mention, yeah, congratulations to being a grandfather again, PJ.
Oh yeah, well done, PJ. You didn't really do anything, but
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm
well
not sure
done
PJ had much to do with it.
I definitely hope not, but
I think either his
PJ
son and daughter-in-law and daughter and son-in-law, depending on which way it is, had more to do with it.
But yeah, PJ, hook me up on the normal channels, and I'll see if I can't get you some Swedish candies sent across. They're probably too young for it, but I do know a certain gentleman that likes to explore the wilderness with a metal detector that might like the Swedish candy.
I must admit, my idea of Swedish candy used to be Agnetha Folkstad, but we won't go into that.
Well, you came over to my place and you weren't even able to open up a simple bottle of fizz.
Correct.
I don't mean to name and shame you on that one, but I was just wondering, are they really securing it that well? Because it's really sweet, isn't it?
Mm.
And as I recall, I mean, it's tricky to explain the flavor of it, but it's Coca-Cola, but not really Coca-Cola. Or am I wrong in this? I mean, you two are the ones that tasted it, probably for the very first time in your lives. What did you actually think of what was called julmust?
Delicious.
Remember, to be fair.
And it actually outsells Coca-Cola in Sweden every Christmas and every Easter.
Wow.
So what they do for Easter is basically just rebrand the very same beverage and just call it Easter must or påskmust. Julmust, påskmust, Easter must, julmust. And no, the must doesn't mean you must have it.
Mm.
PJ, Iron Brew is better than anything, everywhere, anytime. But I do have one that I'm going to try and send across to you when I'm able to, but hopefully soon enough. It's literally what I grew up on, and Iron Brew is the king.
Iron Brew is always going to be the king.
It was real girders, as I recall.
I hope that is a typo, Miranda, because you said you loved Iron Brew. So, in that case, what are you in love with today?
Good point. Made in Scotland from Gruders. Of course it is. Bennett. Oh, I could hear crickets in the background from there.
Well, I'm not trying to lead the conversation too much, but I haven't had too many things going on recently. I already covered Shogun, and
I've covered the
don't
Departed.
really think there is anything new that I've watched. But if we're jumping back in time, been going back through Babylon 5, which I literally crunched season 1 to 4 in just a couple of days.
Yep.
Excellent choice.
And I'm back on, I think it's Star Trek Next. Yeah, it's Next Generation in Star Trek. Just crunching through that. And I know PJ will like this, and it is. I'm re-listening to the Bobbyverse, probably for the third time for the last 2 years. So it has been enough time that I don't recall everything, but I'm re-listening to it, and I forgot a lot about the story. I know there is a 6th book apparently coming out for it.
Really, I didn't know there was 5.
Book. But Amazon is showing it to me, or Audible is showing it to me, as it has not yet been published or is not yet ready for Audible versions.
I was going to say,
and I thought Heaven's River was the last one.
Yeah, because Heaven's River is number 4, though, isn't it?
Yes, Heaven's River is literally the one rounding up everything, is collecting the people that were missing.
Yeah, because I think I kind of got stuck on Heaven's. I kind of started reading Heaven's River, then on something else, I think, for some reason.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
Heaven's River. I'm gonna have to admit that is my least favorite of them, because it's just so stuck in one place, and it doesn't play on the characters and the fun they're playing with on all the other elements that are around, the geekiness, the fact that I'm not sure if I'm going to say it's the author or if it's the heroes, plural, since they are replicating or duplicating, or whatever you want to call it. But there is a lot less of that and more just action, run, try to hide, try to avoid.
Well, the first 3 sort of were one story, and then the fourth is just it's the fourth one is one that's basically they're just a sort of a follow on to the original, a side story almost.
Yeah, it feels almost like season 5 in Babylon 5. It is they're trying to wrap up what stories they can.
Well, Babylon 5 had yeah, I thought they were PJ. Thanks. I thought the Babylon 5 had the problem that they didn't know they were going to get season 5. They nearly got cancelled, I think, after season 3. Then they got picked up by another network for season 4. Didn't know if they were going to get season 5, so they had to finish the main story.
Mm-hmm.
So they dropped a few side things, concentrated on the main story, which is why season 4 is so action filled, and every episode in season 4 is main story arc. And then they then got renewed for season 5, and they've lost one of the main lead characters, one of the main lead actors, and they brought in, so they had some of the stories were I think were hangovers from the original, and then they brought in new ones as well. But they got it done just in time, because they made Sleeping in Light, then they got renewed, so then they had to make I've forgotten what it's called, but what is now the last episode of season 4, the one where they do the time jumps. I forgot what it's called. Then season 5 came on, which is why you've got Ivanova in Sleeping in the Light, even though Sleeping in the Light comes at the end of season 5, and Claudia Christian wasn't in season 5. And Tracy Skolkins is not, I don't think, in Sleeping in the Light, because that was already made before she came on board. So it's confusing. But,
Yeah.
but yeah, it is. I mean, I'm sorry. I don't care. It's
no. I would love. I know the capabilities out there. If you look at the recent, today we call them unicorns, but they are out there. The creators, the directors, the studios, the artists, the actors, and everything, that they can make these really entertaining, engaging, immersive films, TV shows, what have you, that they are out there.
But
we had Boss Level, we had The Nice Guy, and I would never have pegged Ryan, whatever his name is, that did that one, to be one that, hey, this is a film that is just plain natural. Okay, it wasn't the best film, and if we'd pulled Boss Level and The Nice Guy back to the 80s and 90s, they would probably have been mid-level, because they would have been fighting against Predator, Terminator, Die Hard, Mannequin. If we're gonna go for like the romantic soppy ones, it would probably even be considered mid-level-ish towards something like Porky's. And I know the audience here is old enough to know Porky's, but you're probably going to deny that you have knowledge of Porky's. But I will give you a cop out and say Police Academy 1.
I've heard, I don't think I've ever seen Porky's, I've heard of it. Question is, though, have you or anybody in the chat, but on 5 chat, seen the like the last thing that he did, where he did the animated Babylon 5?
No,
I've never heard of that one.
We dropped it about a year ago. I'm brainfudding what it's called, but it's some of the original cast. I've jokingly referred to it as Babylon 5 into the Babylon verse because it's a multiverse thing. But it looks like it was. I wonder if it was supposed to be going to be a not a reboot, a pilot for a new version, because he ends up going back to Sheridan. Basically, Sheridan gets lost in time again, but this time he actually gets across multiverses, and I think it looks like what they might have been going to do was it might have been a backdoor pilot for a series set in a different timeline. So you got some of the main characters there and some other characters that because obviously we've lost so many of the actors from Babylon 5. But it was about a year ago, I think it came out now. Because there was, I don't know if you remember, there was a lot of fuss about, there was a lot of rumor about he was making, Straczynski was going to reboot Babylon 5, or was it going to be a sequel or what? And it looked, and with that, it actually turned out what he did is he did this animated.
Yeah.
Which was okay. It was quite good, but some odd there's some odd choices, I think, storytelling choices in that, shall we say. Really sorry, I mean, it's clever ideas, like, what happens if this and what happens if that. But I don't know if there's actually going to be any more of in that line or not. It certainly, I mean, it certainly lends itself to that the way he wrote it. Because they were talking that there were rumors that they were going to change this and change these characters and all these sorts of things, which means they have to do it as a reboot stroke alternate. I'd alternate universe, or the only other way you could, with something like Babylon 5, of course, what you could do is you could do it with yes, but it's not being told from the point of view. It's being told by someone 1,000 years in the future. So who knows what might have changed. So there were possibilities to get around it, but don't know where they intended to go with it. But it's certainly it was certainly worth watching. Cast actually had different voice actors because the originals had passed away. I think I've got a feeling Bruce Boxlight might have been about the only actual original cast member still in the remake, like animated.
So I know YouTube is always fussy about links and everything, but I was sharing with PJ a link that there is a rumor that the author about Bobbyverse is in production about a 5th book in the series. I don't know if it's true, and you can't access the author's website because it's apparently not online anymore. Oh. But I hope it will answer your questions, PJ. And also, PJ, Kim Cattrall. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Yeah, it's still untitled, I know, but at least I'm excited. There might be more coming, and I hope it's not gonna be Heaven's River. I hope it's gonna be a little bit more turning back to the geeky, exploring, knowing stuff about stuff and whatnot. But at least it is a rumor, and let's hope that he's not turning into a George R.R. Martin, going for like what's GRRM up to now? It's like 20 years promising the last book.
4,000 and some odd days, I believe.
Oh yeah. It's like, but then again, if I wrote a book that got put into a series, and I'm not actually gonna take Game of Thrones here, I'm gonna take the 100.
Mm-hmm.
Now, allegedly, and all the caveats that comes with it, when they started making the TV show, the author was barely done with the first book. As I got informed by like comic book reviews or whatever website I saw it on, and I thought, that's gonna be interesting. So the author isn't done literally with the first concept. They just had the idea, they're ready to publish a book, and they're putting it into a TV show. And I will say, overall, I really liked the 100.
Which was that one?
Basically, just planet Earth got nuked, bad radiation, blah blah blah. So people
is that why
had
the
to move
100 will
out
get sent
into
back in
moon
time or
bases
something?
and whatnot. But they have a very cruel punishment system that if you fuck up on the moon base, you basically get deported and sent back to Earth to fend for yourself. Yeah, but in this particular one, when this starts, so that's the rule of the universe. But when this starts, they managed to gather like 100 teenagers, obviously because it's sexy for teenagers. 100 teenagers, they just smacking down back on planet Earth. But they now have kind of the idea that Earth might be survivable. So these teenagers being young, if you get injured as a teenager, and sadly I know this as getting a little bit older now, it's if you get a scratch as a teenager, that's literally gone, not even the next day, it is literally gone in the evening when you go to bed, and it's like, didn't I cut my leg and was bleeding massively? And it was like, no, it's healed. So that's the concept of why they're just chucking down the teenagers.
Oh,
right. And then from there on, it's essentially the I wouldn't say default, because zombies is not the correct term. There is some mutation, but there are other stuff going on. But essentially, teenagers from a space station, they are 4th, 5th, 20th generation born on a space station, chucked down on Earth, go survive.
I would have thought that might have had problems with A, muscular development, unless they managed to maintain a proper 1G environment, and B, I would have thought they would have had War of the Worlds type problems with having no immunity to anything, disease pathogens, etc.
Yeah. But you have to, what were you calling it? Suspend belief. You have to go. Okay, this is the premise, and you're perfectly fine. So take was it Will Smith's After Earth or something? So they're coming back to Earth, father and son. This is the first time he's actually introducing his real life son to acting and whatnot. It's holding up, but it's still, there's no way you lived in space your entire life, you're landing on planet Earth and running that fast. you will just not do that.
That's the problem. The problem is suspension of disbelief is something which, when you're writing science fiction, no, people who watch science fiction, read science fiction, tend to expect certain, tend to expect you to be reasonably accurate with the science bit of it.
Tell me about it.
Well, this is Shadiverse had the best part of this in terms of a description is the hard magic versus soft magic.
Yeah, what I used to call hard sci-fi versus soft sci-fi.
Yes, so you will allow a few, like, okay, these are way too fussy. I believe the original term is actually called the Deus Ex Machina. So if you as a writer have painted yourself in a corner and you can't logically get your way out of it, you can add that magic that make yourself get out of that situation where logically or everything you presented so far you cannot get out of.
It's called a MacGuffin, isn't it?
No, a MacGuffin is actually an item within the universe that solves all your problems.
Deus Ex Machina literally means God from the machine. It's sort of a out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere, you have something, which means that you've literally just broken the rules.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, the data is it's literally a case of, okay, well, the machine comes down and saves you out of nowhere. The third season of Resident Alien coming up. Is that be interesting? Really? Wow. I kept looking for that, and I kept looking to see if there was another one, and nothing turned up, and then I gave up looking for it. Wow. I do hope it doesn't go, because the season 2 went well, when you had an episode about the gender pay gap, they've gone wrong somewhere. Definitely might have to check that out.
Right, so I think we covered all the things we watched and maybe a few of blasts from the past, but what's up with you guys? What's been the this week's highlight? I know, Alex, you've been out and about with your cycle and trying your camera, and you're still not showing us the photos. So
I didn't really know what
we haven't talked in a while. So what have you been up to?
What? I don't even recognise some of the story beats for this one for Resident Alien. I might have to rewatch the last series. What? Talking about it, I'm actually reading Alan Dean Foster's novelization of the Alien, the first movie.
Oh,
I am
classic.
Well, yeah, but the weird thing is, I mean, I don't remember from the film, but I am 61% of the way through.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just about sitting down to have a meal. And we all know what happens at that meal. And I'm 61% of the way through the book. So
we all know what
well over halfway through the book.
John Herget's birth.
Exactly. But I'm well over halfway through the book before that even happens.
Well, I watched a few YouTube documentaries about Alien and like the making of it and all this stuff. And it just goes, it is fascinating that it's, how can I put it? The spaceship, the Nosferatu.
Nostromo.
Nostromo, that's it. It does look like it's run down and everything like that. Right?
Well, it's supposed to be because it's
But
supposed
that
to
was
be.
supposed to be the technology of the future. Like you've got all buttons and it's got an industrial feel. Then you see the Prometheus and you're thinking, yeah, okay.
What the hell is this film doing in the same series? Yes.
Yeah, well, it's not. No, it's like the Nosferatu was made on a budget, right? That's where Red Dwarf took inspiration from. And the Prometheus is a cruise liner.
Well, the Nostromo is a working tug.
Yeah.
It is literally that. I mean, it's one reading. I'm thinking, what? Hold on a minute. Wait. This is Space Truckers. Why do they have a science officer attached? Why does an interstellar U-Haul need a science officer? I suppose maybe because it's in space and
Yeah,
you're going to make things for you're going to be on other planets and this sort of thing, but
no, there's a lot.
PJ, yeah, exactly. Yes, PJ, you're right. Yeah, I mean, it may be, yeah. If you're doing this and you know you're going to be out there and you know you're going to be out there, but you can be possibly visiting other planets and the rest of it. Yeah, but I mean, but this isn't this is a space truck, so
yeah. But look at the ship. Look at the ship in Aliens.
Yeah,
shaped like an actual gun.
Well, that was a military ship for starters.
Yeah, I know it's a military ship for starters, but it's like all the ships, have to look like what they represent.
Maybe.
But
I'm going to go on to that one next. I'm going to go to Aliens.
Yeah, don't forget that Nostromo was slowly falling apart.
Yeah, well, it was an old, as I said, it was a commercial vessel, and the company was more interested in making money than, so they minimalised this, that, and the other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but look at the Nostromo carefully. There's Philip. It's the lighting, I think, that really gave the ship more life. Because there were a lot of sets that were dark and everything,
Not so much the Nostromo, the Bordello.
Probably is a sex ship.
I mean, this is the thing. I mean, it's like anything else. As you were saying, you have to say, okay, well, some things, but they're necessary for the story. So,
yeah,
what's going to happen there? Then, how's that going to go? But it's still, you have to understand it. But yeah, I mean, it's one of the reasons. Reading the backs, reading the novelization. There's obviously a few bits and pieces in there. A lot of it still seems to be fluff and filler almost. So, and I mean, they land the actual ship on the planet, on the moon, and there's a lot of things where their engines get clogged and this sort of thing, which I don't remember being in the film. Maybe it was, I don't remember. It's worse than I've seen it. I think like this, you're thinking, okay, yeah, but this is just delaying them getting off, and these days it's a case of, maybe it's just me getting old, but it's a case of, okay, but this is nothing to do with the actual main storyline, really. It's maybe making you feel more for the characters because
but look at this. look at this. Like they landed on a planet, right? And it was harsh conditions, right? Like what is in the background, what I've got here. Not like snowy effect, but like, storms and everything like else, right?
Yeah.
But Prometheus, it looked like they landed in Iceland.
I don't remember. I don't even remember much of Prometheus.
I
Was that the one where was that the one where the ship? No, that's not the one where the ship crashed. Where the big circular ship crashes, is it?
Yes.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, but no. Prometheus, it looks like they landed in Iceland. Well, I think it was mostly filmed in Iceland.
Maybe it was.
But I expect with Alien, you've got a new Alien movie coming up, right?
Well, not another one.
Yes. But apparently they're going back to basics with it. And we're talking about they're looking for the tone of the original Alien in a way.
Well, the original Alien was a horror movie.
Yes, set in space.
Yeah, Aliens was a science fiction military action story.
Yeah.
They are two quite different genres, actually, in many ways.
But yeah, they're looking to give the tone and feel of what it used to be, with Alien.
Oh, is this? Oh, is that one? Or is this the one that's? No, hold on, no, that's
Alien Romulus, I think it's called.
Yeah, I was saying, is that a film or is it a TV series?
I think it's a film.
Is it?
Because there was going to be an Alien 5, but that went out the window. It was by the guy who done District 9. I'm trying to remember his name. I've never actually seen District 9 properly.
I don't think I have, actually. I've seen bits of it.
I'm trying to...
Rob Campbell, something. Is he South African?
Yeah, Neil Blomkamp. And he also wanted to do a remake of RoboCop.
Really?
Well, actually, a continuation of RoboCop, really.
I was going to say. They don't have anything new, do they? They really don't. There really is nothing new. Remake of this, remake of that, sequel to the other. Yeah.
Well, the last film we did was based on a video game called Gran Turismo, Neil Blomkamp. The racing game. And apparently he was a 3D animator for Stargate SG-1.
Oh, we'll see. Wow. I keep seeing things on the internet about remaking or picking up on Stargate again.
Yes.
I don't know if they could do that. I don't know what's going on. I don't think I've actually watched.
Okay. Can I just say something about
Many
Stargate?
of those.
Yeah, and the thing about Stargate is you really can't continue the SG-1 franchise, without the original cast, really. And they are really getting on a bit now.
Oh, yeah.
You could do a continuation, but I think it's bloody hard, and it's hard unless they do like a reimagining of Stargate and turn it into like a Battlestar Galactica vibe.
Oh, God, open up, please, no. Well, I mean, the thing is, Stargate as a premise, apart from the fact that you're going to start thinking, my God, sorry, how did was there any of the population of Earth left after all these populations have been kidnapped by the gold and moved on to other planets? Apart from that, as a premise, it's quite wide open. I mean, it's literally you literally could have, especially with current day technology, you really could have visit alien planets. You've got You've got storylines that can be picked up. There's a load of books, Stargate spin-off novels as well. You know, that you could do. It gives itself because you just visit another planet, and Stargate is literally a Planet of the Week series.
Yes,
literally. And if you do it as some sort of animation, you've even got, you know, the cast are still around. They may sound a bit older, but I'd like to see Daniel and Vala back in particular.
Yeah, because they wanted to do. Well, actually, now there's like talk about here we are. On April 14, 20, NGM announced that they were rebooting the film franchises for film and television, including Stargate. It was a bit of a difficult one, really.
That's interesting. Are they rebooting the TV SG1 or are they rebooting the from?
We don't know. Film? They just say something, and then you know, it's good point, Miranda.
Yeah, I mean, there are there's 3 or 4 books I think which are also sequels to the film rather than the TV series. Which I've not read any of those. I've read some of the TV ones. They've got that. It's great. They've got that. I haven't read it. I think there's a duology. I think where they deal with where they actually manage to rescue those guys that are trapped in the planet around the black hole.
Yeah, that was a good one.
There's at least one skip around time travel one with the dealing with Mobius, where that Mobius squid, where they go back. You know, you get that the one where they go back to ancient Egypt, and Daniel's you know, when they did that one, when they go back, and then there's another one that does that, and part of that I think actually ends them up at Roswell as well.
Yeah.
There's a few. I said there's Stargate Atlantis and Stargate Universe spin-offs, none of which I read because I wasn't particularly into either of those series myself. But there's quite a few of them. There's stuff out, you know. There's material out there even without having to actually come. And although that is remaking readers, it's something that was that was popular and is sufficiently old that it's you've probably got a new generation who aren't familiar with it, rather than making yet another Alien movie, yet another Predator movie, yet another MCU movie, which they make every 3 or 4 years, or another Batman movie, which they make every so often, and they just never give time to rest.
Well, Batman was very popular.
Oh yeah, but yeah, I mean, what does it say about modern day entertainment that Miranda's reaction is everyone's reaction is that, oh, we don't want another one of these, they're going to mess it up.
Yeah, I know, but in my eyes with this, Colin, right, is that it's come to, you know, they say we're going to remake this, but the thing is that people's first immediate reaction is, yeah, we're going to mess it up. But you've got to realise is that who's taking over it? The thing is that everyone is just thinking, oh, it's going to be messed up and all of that. But next thing you know, it turns out bloody good.
On the other hand, there is some hope on the horizon. There's apparently sites on streaming that you can go down now to find out who's involved in creating things. So you know, okay, if such and such company's involved, we're not going to bother. Thank you. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing. And the other question there is, okay, it's really good, but is that a case? But even then, is that a case of something is? You're right, Miranda. I mean, you're absolutely you are not wrong in doing it, and it's not your fault. It's not our fault. It's their fault.
Yeah.
Okay, see you, Cam. It's their fault for making all this stuff, advertising the stuff to where they advertise it, pushing the stuff they're pushing, even if it's not in the movies and the TV. It's their fault that that a large proportion of the reaction is, oh, it's going to be, to the point that even if someone isn't, even if it is good, okay, is it good on its own merit, or is it merely good the way a drop of the way a pool of stagnant water is great if you're in the middle of a desert dying of thirst?
Yeah. The thing is, Colin, is that at the moment I've been reading up about Superman, Superman Legacy.
Are they not changing the name of that again?
Hmm?
Did I not see that he's going to change that to Superman or something?
I haven't read that bit about it.
Superman...
Superman Legacy, and they're trying to go back to the old way of what it was like with Christopher Reeves.
We were saying the other way, weren't we? I mean, I said somewhere on someone's stream that they're talking about this, and I said, okay, fine. One thing is, okay, first major test for the new Superman.
Mm-hmm.
Does he stand for truth, justice, and the American way? You put that on the poster, and you are going to make bank.
Yes. Because
that's what Superman is. Superman is the Boy Scout. Oh, Miranda, did you kill it within 10 seconds after it had nearly murdered your entire troop? You know, I mean, did you Galadriel it? Yeah, I've said a nice troll. But again, look at that. My immediate reaction to killing Troll, meme from Rings of Power, because most stuff that's how much of the stuff that we meme these days is actually good, and how much of it is memeing on stuff because it's not good. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I thought I'd seen somewhere that that it's not going to be called Superman Legacy, and it's just going to be called Superman because there hasn't been a Superman movie just called Superman.
Yes, well, not for a long time, really.
No, there hasn't, because because the Christopher Reeve one was Superman the movie. It wasn't. I don't think it was Superman. And I think, but then that's great. Except you have to remember that that's happened once before.
Yes.
There was a Star Trek movie called Star Trek.
A motion picture.
There was a Star Trek movie called Star Trek in 2009.
Oh, yes.
You know, just because they go back, exactly the same thing. There had been no Star Trek. Every Star Trek movie had a subtitle of some sort, something like that. Even when it was, I mean, the Superman movies, Superman the motion picture, or Superman the movie, what it was, Superman 2, Superman 3, even if it didn't have a subtitle, it still wasn't just called, it was, 2 part 3. But because the creator decides he's going to actually just go with a plain name, isn't necessarily indicative of a good thing.
Yes.
That looks absolutely disgusting, what that thing's about to do to you. And yes, I know it's a lava lamp.
Yes.
But I'm kind of half expecting Raquel Welch to come and rescue you.
Please. Oh, that's a film I've got to watch again. Fantastic Voyage.
Yeah. Actually, no, I'd go rather for Honeycomb or 1 Million Years BC. She's much better looking in those.
Barbarella.
Well, yes, we won't go with
They
that.
gave birth to a band, fantastic band. You sang
Okay,
a song about a woman on a boat.
Bob, yeah, so Barbarella before Hanoi Jane became Hanoi Jane. Yes, it's a generation of Americans Vietnam vets can't stand Jane Fonda. Actually, yeah, it doesn't look. Yeah, there was a bit of that. There was a bit of Barbarella. It did have a bit of the old 70s trippiness to it as well.
I quite like the lava lamp look background anyway.
Yeah, oh yeah. It's just that looks like something's about to come down and eat. It looks like a sandworm is about to come down and eat you.
Oh god, you get to watch Dune Part 2.
Yeah, that's
Funny enough, they got the original on Channel 4 online at the moment.
I was like,
Jim's had to go. Take care, Jim.
Yeah, and the thing is, I'm not gonna see it. I don't do this cinema, but I will see Dune when it comes out. From what I hear, a lot of the negative comments, let's put it that way,
yes,
have been about deviation from the story rather than anything else.
Yeah.
A lot of the deviation seems to be for what we may call woke, political, however you can put it, reasons, or at least it may have that effect. But a lot of people have said, and even people who have complained about it, said they're going to go and see it again. So, it sounds as if it's probably going to make I think, what was I watching earlier on today? Someone looked it up, and I think it's already on 100. It's already approaching what Captain Marvel made.
Mm-hmm. You talking about Madam Web?
No, Captain Marvel.
Oh.
Captain Marvel made not Captain Marvel, the Marvels. Sorry, because Madam Web made something ridiculous. No, I think the Marvels made 200 million over its up when it was all done. But then the June 2, I think someone said was up to 190 million already. So
and then the third one, Messiah.
That's going to be interesting.
Yes.
Because June Messiah is the shortest of the books. We were talking about it on. Oh, was it Mr. Brown last night? We were talking about it on. And it's the June Messiah is the shortest of the books, and then there's also one which has got very little action. There's a lot of talking, there's a lot of politics, and there's a lot of conspiracies in it. And Denis Villeneuve wants to make a film without much talking. He's not going to do that for June Messiah. There's a lot of politicking. There's a lot of conspiring and conspiracies and plots within plots and this sort of thing. Rebecca Ferguson fans are going to be very disappointed because she's not in it at all. She comes back in Children. I mean, what they did when they did the mini series in 2000, 2001, 2002, they combined June. So they combined June Messiah and Children of June, which is probably the way you would end up needing. Which probably worked because neither of them are particularly thick books. I mean, I think between the two of them together, they're probably about as thick as the original. Although, of course, the original had to do a hell of a lot of heavy lifting when it came to world building. But I'm looking forward to. I mean, I think especially that's going to be one of those ones where if you know if you've read the books or you've seen the earlier films, if you know the story, the spoilers aren't going to be as bad as if you've not. It's not going to be as bad as was it? Who was it? Was it the early Simpsons episode? Did the thing where they're coming out of Empire Strikes Back, and someone's walking past the people going into the cinema, and someone said, "I can't believe Darth Vader was Luke's father," or something like that. And they go, "Oh, thanks for that." Whole thing. I don't think that is, and if you know what some of the changes are, I think they might. You might be, oh, okay. Well, I know that's coming. I know they're going to do that with her. I know they're going to do that with this character. Perhaps it's one of the cases where spoilers are actually not such a bad thing, because you know what's coming. You know something's going to come along, and it's going to be. They're gonna do something with it. So you're going to go, oh, okay, okay, we know that's going to come, so I can ignore that. Rather than, what the fuck are you doing that for? She would not do that.
It's uncomfortable.
Have you read the books at all?
What, June?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Well, one odd thing is, have you seen the film?
Many times.
What, the David Lynch version or the film one? Yeah.
I'm still thinking about it. Take care, Miranda.
Oh, cheers, Miranda.
Have a good night.
Well, the thing is, in the book, but
the original is a WTF for me, anyway.
Oh, there's some really David Lynch things in that.
Yeah, I know.
Like the Harkonnen in particular. But the weird thing is, if you're going to break it up, not that long after where they finished the first film, there is actually a 3-year time jump in the book. There is a time jump because in the book you go from pretty much. I mean, I reread the book not that long ago, a couple of months ago. In the book, you pretty much go from Paul being adopted into the tribe, to he and Chani have got a kid. That's pretty much the next bit you get. There's a 3-year jump there. You've got a 3-year jump, and they've done that, and they've been guerrillaing the Harkonnens, etc. I was surprised actually. The book there's very little actual action and combat in the book. There's the battle where the Atreides are wiped out. You see a couple of bits and pieces of where they're doing sort of guerrilla actions, including the one where where he comes across Gurney. He comes across Captain Picard. And there is a bit about the battle for Arrakeen and for the palace when the Emperor comes. His Borton's coming down. But that's it. I mean, the problem with talking about this is it's a bit difficult. There's some of these things without. Has anybody in the chat not read the books or seen the Lynch movie or the miniseries. In other words, anybody in chat absolutely completely new to the thing, because I want to be careful what I say, but there's a few things about the film that I know is happening, and obviously I don't want to do spoilers for despite what I said earlier on, because there's a few things they changed, and there's one or two things I've heard of apparently. Okay, the movie, that's fine, PJ, mate, that's fine. If you've seen the movie, that's great. It's not a problem because it's things that are in the movie. Apparently they change who they change some of the characters that do who does what in the film, some of which are actually quite important for later on in the series. I've said, I mean, I was saying on, I think it was Mr. Brown's or someone's channel, because I know they were talking about, people have been talking about it, which is one of the big things. I think it's got a lot in common in some ways with the Foundation TV series, in that both June and Foundation do not lend themselves that easily to the screen. June is probably easier. It probably doesn't lend itself that well to the big screen simply because of the book, but for the TV shows. Foundation, it's sod all happens in those of the Foundation short stories. The sod all happens in them. It's almost written like a history book, so which really does lend itself to action or anything. But I understand that Villeneuve now wants to do Rendezvous with Rama. That I will be looking forward to, because that's a good book. Arthur C. Clarke again. That's a good book, and I would like to see a good version of see that done well. But we shall have to see what happens. We've only got so we've got June's out now. I think until someone mentioned that there's the season 3 of Resident Alien, I think June is about the only thing this year I was actually looking for. I'm actually anticipating at all, which says a great deal about. Well, it says a great deal about me, and probably almost as much about the state of the entertainment industry. I'm not sure if there's anything else. What's anybody in chat, since I'm carrying this up in a minute, what's anybody in chat looking forward to? Is there anything people are looking forward to? We just downloaded last night's Death in Paradise, so I've got that to watch.
Yeah.
That picked up a little bit than the last one. The last one I thought was picking up a bit. But is there anything you're looking forward to, Alex?
Star Wars: The Bad Batch, because that's getting interesting. It's the final season.
Okay, never seen that.
Hold on, and apparently it's the last of the George Lucas type. Because
I've not seen.
I'm watching. Yeah. Well, I say it's The Bad Batch, X-Men '97. One more thing I've got to mention. I watched Godzilla -1 on Saturday.
Oh, excellent! Enjoy it, because you've got to.
Oh, can I just say something? Looking at the monster close up to a boat, chasing the boat was really like, Jesus Christ,
Because is it true they've gone back to the monster CGI'd over, but it's actually a bloke in a suit again?
No,
it's not.
Actually CGI.
Oh, that's a shame. Because I thought I'd seen someone say they'd said that actually the Godzilla was a bloke in a suit. Back to that.
No, it was a full CGI Godzilla they've done this time.
Oh, okay.
And all I can say is that Toho are really pushing the boat out now with the Godzilla franchise. So you've got the American one, which is
They're pushing the boat to
more...
get away from Godzilla.
What? Sorry?
They're pushing the boat so Godzilla doesn't sink it.
Yeah. But all I can say is that the ending to Godzilla -1, you know, what they did to Godzilla in the end was very, I'll tell you after the show, it was very good. You know, it was very good.
When I'd heard that, and that about the man in the suit, it wasn't being said dismissively. It was that it was.
If they want to go back to the man in the suit, they've really got to like design the suit and everything this and make it look realistic. But this Godzilla was absolutely like
maybe it was a maybe it was a man in a suit motion capture possibly. No, the way people saying about it was that they weren't being rude or saying it was a joke. They were saying, you know, they were doing it right. They'd gone back with modern technology that the man in a suit was done well.
They motion captured it, I think, because
maybe that's what they're talking about.
Motion capture is the way to go, because thank Andy Serkis and Colin in Lord of the Rings for that.
Oh yeah.
But no, it's an absolutely brilliant movie, like everybody has said. And the thing is, they are thinking about a sequel to it at the moment. You know, but Toho has got his bond. But the thing is, you've got Godzilla X Kong coming out. That's going down more of the, you know, family-friendly side. You know, big monster action and that, right?
Well, you say sequel to Godzilla. Would that be the third movie?
It's more triggering the Shoda series of Godzilla films, right?
The what?
The Shoda era. It's the 60s and 70s.
Oh, okay.
Unrealistic, you know, and fun for kids.
Well, if they do a sequel to Godzilla -1, presumably called Godzilla 0, won't that be the third in the movie, in the series? Because isn't Godzilla a sequel to Oppenheimer?
No. No. No, -1 is good because they went back to the original tone of when Godzilla came out in the 1950s.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've heard a lot of really good things about that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not. Yeah. I must admit, I'm not a massive great fan of, for example.
I know they're all like shouting at Hollywood, saying, "Look, you can make a decent movie on a $10 million budget." But the Japanese don't make expensive, you know, films. They never did.
I mean, there's 2 points for that. I think one is that the cost of living, the cost of living in Japan may be a lot less than it is in the States. I'm not sure. You know, you've also got one of the things you've also got that does factor in the cost of movies is
yeah, but can I just say
that they get tax breaks in the rest of it as well. So I'm genuinely not sure how accurate it is to compare the cost of movies.
Can I just say something? The difference between Hollywood and the Japanese film industry. With the Japanese film industry, they take it very seriously, right? They know how to make decent movies. They've done it for so many years. And that's where you get proper entertainment, right? The Hollywood, it's just all, I know I don't like to talk politics, but frankly, it's all political bollocks.
Well, I mean, the other thing also is that you think about it. I mean, what they made for Godzilla for say 10 million is probably what they would have spent on one actor in an MCU movie.
Yeah.
Or, you know, a big Hollywood blockbuster. They'd probably spend that on each of the 3 or 4 main leads.
Yeah.
Or more than that. You know, that's one reason why they're so expensive.
But don't forget, Colin, right? you got Hollywood who likes to, pay out a lot of money and hope and pray to God they get an Oscar. That's the way I see it. The thing is, there are some great American movies out there. PJ probably knows what I'm talking about. What the next years ago, you had a film called Mega Shark versus Giant Octopus, and that was made by Asylum, right? But apparently, it did very well. Also they were the brains behind Sharknado.
Heard of them?
Yeah, they become like cult fun movies.
Well,
the CGI looked pretty shit, but it was absolutely ridiculous. It was like B movie type, but
they don't learn the lesson.
No,
because what has Disney had $1 billion movie in the last 5 years? Has Disney had $1 billion movie since Endgame? And I mean Disney, not just Disney Marvel, Disney.
Disney don't know what they're bleeding doing.
Has Disney Marvel in particular, but Disney in general, had a film which made a profit?
Yeah, we know the answer. They haven't. But all I can say with Disney is that chuck out everything they've got, right? And go back to basics, really, what they were really good at in the first place. But they're not going to do that because they're too political. No, they've got an agenda.
What are the films recently over the last few years? I mean, I'm doing this, and I don't do cinema. I really haven't. I mean, the only Disney Star Wars things I've watched is the first 2 seasons of Mando. The only two what I have watched is seasons 1 and 2 of Mandalorian. That's the only Disney Star Wars I've watched at all. Can't avoid being involved. But what are the films that actually made massive amounts of money recently?
Not
Oppenheimer,
a lot.
Barbie.
Oppenheimer. Yeah, that made a lot.
What?
I think Barbie made quite a lot.
Barbie made a heck of. Okay, good night, mate.
Take care, PJ.
Of the last year, Barbenheimer. So Barbie and Oppenheimer made a lot.
Yeah.
Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah.
Joker.
Mm-hmm.
And at least 2 of those, they made a lot of money because they didn't cost a great deal.
Yeah.
I mean, I honestly, as I said, I mean, I don't pay that. I don't do the cinema, so I genuinely couldn't tell you what's been out recently, other than the ones I've heard on and heard about. But
anyway, anyway, I think we should leave it there, Colin. I think we should leave it there. But anyhow, before we go, tell the audience what you've got coming up on the 18th of this month.
On the 18th of this month,
yes,
I've got 7 things coming up.
I'm talking about for the FFSI channel.
That's what I said. I've got 7 things coming up.
Ah,
all Blake of them.
Yep.
We are doing a look back at the other BBC science fiction series made on a budget, famous for being filmed in quarries and disused power stations, Blake 7.
Yep.
Several Doctor Who connections, not least of which is that, I'm not sure how much you're going to be touching it, we're mainly concentrating on the series, that Blake 7 is the second biggest range for Big Finish. It's nowhere near as big as, obviously, Doctor Who. The Doctor Who range is Big Finish, about 80% of their output. But I think the Blake 7 output for that, just to show the effect of it, is probably another 10%, just off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing it. We're doing a look at, and we have a guest on. We have a guest who's going to be helping me talk through it. Who's might be a bit of a problem, unfortunately. This guy, I don't know, being what he is, but yes, we have a guest on to talk about it. Problem being, for those of you that know the man. And hopefully that will be, so that'll be a good stream, because it's probably my second or third series the second, third series that I remember growing up with, and that was only on for 4 years. So yeah, that's in fortnight's time.
Yeah, and we will be back on the 1st of April with Monday night show, because it'll be April Fool's Day and Easter Monday really rolled into one.
Oh lordy.
No, I know. But overall, what's this? Something wrong. Right. Overall, Colin.
No, I can't.
I haven't even started.
I've told you before, not until you start it. Which is good, because it means I have time to take my headphones off so I don't deafen myself, because it's always so loud. And I hope. Jesus, I thought it was.
Oh, the music's gone down there.
Oh, that's better, yeah. Actually, hear us.
Well, okay, anyway, so it's good night from me, and
it's good night from him.
There you go.
And it was good luck from Jim early on as well.
Yes, and Colin will be back on the 18th with his guest. Me and Colin will be back on the 1st of April, and also on the 20th of April, the Dark Knight Return stream with a great panel of guests. So take care, everybody. Have fun, and see you soon.
Bye all.